So I guess the motivations for continuing this theory development are still there. Um, I just wanted Baz to know this, Celeste, you too. Uh, what's really kept me going after all this time is sort of a sense of responsibility. Now, I was very surprised that I should have made this discovery, and over time, everything just sort of falls into place slowly. It doesn't just come automatically, but every now and then I get a little bit of information and just it makes sense, and I write about it or I make a quick talk. But for the most part, I think it also stems from a layered responsibility too. And some good examples I have here for those who are new to this theory. It's the discovery that young stars are young planets, that stars evolve and become planets, which means the process of life itself is ubiquitous. It's all over the universe, the formation of life, if you will. And the evolution of a single star goes hand in hand with the evolution of life itself. As the star cools and dies, those chemicals become more complex as the star cools and collapses on itself, forming the life-hosting planet or star or asteroid, however you want to word it. But that being said, it makes us look at the stars differently and say, hey, those aren't just pinpoints of light in the sky. Those are where life begins. Sure, those are very young stars, the ones we see, but there are many hundreds of billions of them out there, possibly trillions, hundreds of trillions, if you will, plus. Maybe even an infinite amount of worlds. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. There is an infinite amount of life out there. It's just never ending. And I guess what I mean to say is we should sort of show a bit of respect towards our visitors in a way that hasn't been really grasped over the past couple years, couple past decades, I guess. We still struggled with, civil rights and that type of stuff. In between ourselves, we struggled with our own problems even among our own species. So, for instance, if we're going to have a person from another star system visit us and hang out, it's definitely going to be, it's completely out there. How do you suppose we interact with those people that are from other planets if we can't even get our own, shit together down here? But that being said, the U.S. government, they know about alien saucers. They know about their visitors that are tracked on radar, that are chased by F-18s. We've known about them for the past 70 years, the late 1940s, when we started, dropping nuclear warheads on ourselves. The aliens were like, hold up, what are these people doing over here? Like blowing themselves up with nuclear warheads. Like, we got to go check this out. And that's basically why they came here, because they were like, you know what, we got to make sure we monitor this species, make sure, shit doesn't get out of hand here. And that's basically why they're here in a nutshell. But we can argue that point. A few steps to take before trying to duplicate the alien saucer technology. Military guys, I don't know if they have a sense of responsibility towards Earthlings or towards people out there. But I think what my goal is here is to help people understand what the Earth is, what actually happens to stars first, what stars actually do, and somehow get younger minds to understand their place in the galaxy due to this knowledge. Earth isn't just a giant rock, okay? It's a very evolved star. It's very, very old, and it's down here somewhere. There are hundreds of billions of them that are right in this area, and there are less and less and less as you go up. But said and done, there are going to be objects out there that have people like us walking around that, have their own civilizations to take care of. And I don't think our military really understands the implications of that. And if they do, they're keeping completely silent about it. Of course, they had their program of complete denial and ridiculing anybody that should speak up about it in a professional light. But what I'm saying here is, this is similar to gun safety. The military mindset is quick, figure out how we get the most advanced technology. That way we can make sure we defend ourselves against our enemies and whatnot. But That's not a good mindset to have. I think the more appropriate mindset is to understand what we are, to humble ourselves before, people, and to sort of like try to get things under wrap first. Because the idea that you just hand somebody a weapon, which is, alien saucer technology, and then you expect them to be responsible with it, no, it's backwards. You don't just hand somebody a weapon that's never handled a weapon before, a gun or a grenade or what have you. You first have to teach them how the weapons are very dangerous. You have to teach them the safety rules and maybe some history behind them so they can grasp how advanced and useful that technology can be. And the counter to that is how much it can be abused. Before you even start shooting, before we even start, putting rounds down range. It's similar with this theory. I think before we even begin to start trying to replicate this alien saucer technology, I think there needs to be some type of initiative to help people understand what this place is and who we are. To make people more aware that we're not alone, okay? We just can't sit there and duplicate really advanced technology and then take it out there and, act like complete fools. It wouldn't be wise. Not only that, but it wouldn't be wise to get this technology and to just implement it right off the bat. There needs to be some type of responsible caring for this information that they have, and some part of that makes me realize, yeah, that's why a lot of it is top secret. It's because it would alter everything. Think about it. If you can make something that's 3 times as massive as a aircraft carrier fly around at near luminal velocity, I mean, in real time, like the real deal, the entire heavy lift industry would be revolutionized. Cranes, people who use cranes to lift things for building ships themselves, container ships, oil ships, ships that transport stuff, heavy trains, the train industry, all transportation, cars, trucks. We wouldn't even need roads, bridges, don't need them. We can transport heavy material just by using whatever type of anti-gravity technology that we've been able to replicate. We would go from 2D to 3D really, really fast. And I simply don't believe that our mindset is as responsible and as humbled as it could be. I think our leadership sort of takes a stance of, quick replicate the most powerful technology we can, and then that way we can use it against our enemies. Like that's not the approach we should be taking here. We should be taking the approach that we're not alone first, and that we're not the biggest fish in the ocean anymore. I mean, sure, we might have been the biggest fish in the pond, but once we get out into the ocean, we're no longer the big fish. And I think a complete overhaul of our attitude towards that is required. But unfortunately, I just don't see that leadership being present in today's political sphere. From all across the board, not just a Democratic Republican thing. I'm just taking it across the board. I think I don't think they're really prepared for the enormous influx of understanding we're going to have about the stars that's going to happen over the next decade or so. Which is why, of course, I'm working on this. I'm struggling to tell these academics that they're lost. You guys snap out of it, man. This ain't the 1800s anymore. Not all the information is going to be in peer-reviewed journals. Okay, it's the internet. We're gonna all be spreading this information and learning from each other at an extremely rapid rate. Anyways, just thought I'd make this talk really quick. It's just a few ideas that I had. All right, guys. Later.